So, Carlos, I want to get to some of the notes that you sent us because you have some very strong feelings about this. You say this Venezuelan situation has the potential to get very messy. You've also met the VP who's currently in charge, Delcy Rodriguez, and you say she's a hardline communist. What does that mean for the Trump administration and their ability to get their agenda going in Venezuela?
Yeah, let me put this into perspective, Frank. So Venezuela, their economy is essentially down by 75%. Their GDP is 75% lower today than it was in 2013 when Maduro took over. Think about that, 75%. Inflation is about 500%, a little higher, a little lower, 500% around there. The second highest crime rate in the world. They have gangs that essentially operate with impunity. Some of them are part of the enforcement arm of the government, cartels, other gangs. This is a country that's out of control. So when we talk about managing or running Venezuela, it's going to be very hard to do if we're thinking that it's about providing direction from Washington and making sure that it's executed locally. This is, it's too out of control. It's going to require boots on the ground. It's going to require American technocrats, experts on the ground to try to fix things, including oil. Delcy, the VP, now the de facto president, is a hardliner. She comes from a communist family, probably the most ideological of the group. She comes from a communist family. Her father was killed by anti-communists. So she's a believer, and she can't just, roll over and do what the U.S. wants her to do. So this is going to get messy. I would assume that there will be a second strike by the U.S. I can't see her complying with U.S. demands. So this is just the very beginning. We're at very, very early stages.
All right. So you say we're at the beginning, but you also say it's a crossroads. You say you expect the Trump administration to take more actions, but you also believe that Delcy Rodriguez is very pivotal to keeping things at least somewhat calm there in that nation. You believe if she's somehow taken away from power, that could lead to some type of potential civil war or fall similar to what we saw in Iraq.
Well, around her, the group that rules Venezuela is Delcy. And then the two others are the Interior Minister and the Defense Minister. These are hardliners. These are the enforcers. This is the muscle in the family, as Sollozzo would say in The Godfather. And they are vying for power. There's a lot of tension between that group. So, yeah, they would take over if she weren't there, and they would be very much, aggressive and violent. But that doesn't
would that change the Trump administration's willingness to work with the administration that's still there? I mean, they seem to be willing to work with Delcy Rodriguez, but if these other individuals were brought to power, would the Trump administration be as willing, or do you think that would lead to more military action?
I think, Frank, they're willing to work with Delcy Rodriguez because she's there. But I think they're going to find that Delcy Rodriguez is as difficult to work with as anybody else. She is not going to comply with the U.S. It just defeats everything she stands for. It's going to be impossible politically for her to do it. She may do it for a few days. She may talk good things about the oil industry and opening up for U.S. investment, but she is not going to be a partner to the U.S. Things have to change, and they're going to have to change on the ground. So it's going to get messy, Frank, regardless of whether it's Delcy or the Interior Minister or the Defense Minister. It's going to get very messy. And imagine trying to fix that problem, that country.
Okay. You don't seem optimistic about the ability of oil majors to go into the country. So that kind of answers that question. Obviously, you have a lot of experience with big corporations. You don't seem very bullish on their ability to work with Delcy Rodriguez. So I want to go more broader and more macro. What does this mean for China, Taiwan? What does this mean for Russia and Ukraine? What kind of message do you think the U.S. is sending?
Look, I think for China, Venezuela is a convenient tactic. They understand what Venezuela is. They're an unreliable partner. They don't pay their bills. They're not going to stake their whole strategy on Venezuela. And I don't believe, and I'm going to go on the limb here, Frank, I do so with you quite a bit. I don't believe that China will use this as an excuse or justification to attack Taiwan. It's just not the way they think. They're not going, after all these years, they're not going to do it as a result of a tactical convenience. So China will make statements, very aggressive statements. That's expected. They have to do that. But I don't see any tangible, significant action on China's behalf.